My name is Sam.
And I'm Nick, and tonight on Press Play we got so many things for you to see, so many wonderful bits. Starting off, we got some news.
News. So we're gonna cut right to that.
Right to news.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another news segment for Press Play. I'm Griffin E. Brandon.
And I'm Lily Pierce. And today we have a lot to talk about, from the writer's strike to the release of Mortal Kombat 1. Stay tuned for Press Play's news.
Since May 2nd, 2023, the Writers Guild of America, or WGA, voted to strike due to low pay and increased use of AI. This union, who has represented over 11,000 film, television, radio, and news writers, are fighting for writers during these unique times in Hollywood history. With an increase in streaming services, the strikers are fighting for higher and better pay, a stable pay structure, fair deals, and limited or no uses of artificial intelligence in production. On July 14th, SAG-AFTRA voted to also strike with solidarity with the Writers Guild. Currently, the WGA has negotiated with the companies for a tentative agreement. The agreement promises that the amount of AI will be regulated, and the work of the writers cannot be used to train AI. Wage will be increased by 5% for 2025. The writer room will also be increased in people and streaming transparency. The union will be holding a vote on where to agree on the deal in early October. Currently, the actor strike is still going on.
Meanwhile, Nintendo fans, be ready to jump into the new Super Mario Bros. Wonder coming out on Nintendo Switch on October 20th. Hop into the new game full of wonder and delight. Try out the new elephant power-up where you can become the best elephant of all time. Play as Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, Nabbit, and 2 Toads. Speaking of Nintendo, let's talk about Zelda.
Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has come out. Over 4 months ago, we are just now talking about it. But again, I guess that shows how legendary Zelda games are. The game has been critically acclaimed as being a great sequel to the original, with new gameplay mechanics like the new Zone 9 devices and Fuse, which allows Link to combine objects and create some interesting things. The game has been a commercial selling over 10 million copies in its first 3 days of launch, and as of June 30, has sold 18.51 million copies worldwide. The game is looking to become a game of the year.
Meanwhile, over in Capcom, the remake of Resident Evil 4 has received its Separate Ways DLC. The DLC follows mercenary Ada Wong as she experiences the events of Leon Kennedy's campaign from her perspective while completing a mission for the mysterious Albert Wesker. The DLC has received good reviews along with its base game and has even added in content from the first game that was out of base game of the remake.
In America, everyone's favorite bloody politician triggering fighting game has released its next installment with Mortal Kombat 1. This is the series' second reboot of its timeline. Liu Kang has become the fire god and created a new universe. Now he assembles a group of remade old heroes to win the latest tournament. You get to play as old favorites like Johnny Cage and Sub-Zero, and play as long-gone heroes making new return like Reptile and Kenshi. So keep an eye out for those fatalities, gamers.
Finally, for gaming news, is Bethesda Softworks' new game, Elder Scrolls 6. Fallout 5, Starfield for the Xbox Series X and the PC. Sony. This is Bethesda's first new IP game in over 25 years. The game is classic Bethesda, be who you want, fight who you want, play how you want. It's all about you. Put yourself first in the 25th century where humanity has colonized planets. The game so far has been received very positively by critics. The game opened with over 6 million players, becoming Bethesda's biggest launch. It seems like Starfield just works, and it might become Xbox's new killer app.
Finally, for gaming news, it's all about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man 2. The game is set to be released in October 20th this year. In this game, Peter gets fused with the symbiote Venom. The player acts like your typical Amazing Spider-Man with the powers of the symbiote. Will Peter lose control? Wait to find out. Also, Miles is in the game, which is awesome.
So that is all for news today. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. My name is Griffin E. Brandon.
And my name is Lily Pierce.
And you keep playing, Indiana.
Wow. I think that was some pretty cool news that we heard just here. What do you think?
That was probably the news of all time.
I think so.
But now, we're going to get into some opinions, because it's opinion night, baby.
Oh yeah, opinion nights. Things are gonna get heated. Things are gonna get crazy. Or is that the? Yeah.
I think it's
Opinions,
crazy. It's gonna get
you
crazy. Opinions.
Opinions.
Alright, so my full name is Donovan Kendrell Carrington.
My name is Griffini Brandon.
Yo, what's up? My name's Nicholas McEwen.
Hi, I'm Lily.
Hi, my name is Justin.
Hello, my name is Basil Bader.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Michael.
I am Carson C. Zadroga.
I guess my favorite video game right now would be probably Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I've been playing a lot of that so far. Just really like the gameplay, the story, even though it takes 100 hours to beat, just casually, not even going like 100%.
For favorite video game, I would have to say it's Ghost of Tsushima. It is the best game on the PlayStation, and not to mention, in Japanese dub, the main character is voiced by Kazuya Nawaki, who voices Zoro in One Piece.
I went back and forth on it a bit, but ultimately it's got to be Red Dead Redemption 2. It's just such a good narrative. Arthur Morgan is the guy of all time. I love him, and just the rest of the story is great.
My favorite video game right now is kind of basic, but it's Overwatch. I'm a stereotypical diva user, but it is what it is.
I feel like I'm torn between Minecraft and Team Fortress 2, although the Half-Life and Hotline Miami series both have a soft spot in my heart.
My favorite video game, it's been my favorite video game since like 2016, is like Slime Rancher. It's just a fun little comfy game that I love playing whenever I can. Really waiting for the second one to finish up and come out.
My favorite video game is My Singing Monsters. Played it for a few years.
I would have to say that my favorite video game is Kirby's Epic Yarn, and this gives me an excuse to bully Nick. See, Nick and I were playing Kirby's Epic Yarn together, right? And this man rage quit because he was losing in a game designed for children.
My favorite video game is gonna have to be Detroit Become Human. I love that game so much. I was obsessed when it first came out, and I still really like it. It's a really good game. I think it has really good characters, a really good story. The acting in it's good. I like the sound score in it, and I just think it's really great.
My favorite game of all time is Skyrim, okay? I stand by that, and I will die on that hill forever in my whole life. However, I think like my favorite like recent game, like the past 5 years or whatever, it's probably Doom Eternal, okay? Like I think that game is really, really good.
I'd say my favorite video game of all time is probably God of War 2018. God of War Ragnarok is also up there, but I have personally replayed God of War 2018. I think I'm through my 4th playthrough now of the game. Really enjoy that game. Awesome game.
My favorite video games, there's a bunch of them. I like Fallout New Vegas. I like Resident Evil 4. That's a recent one. I like Borderlands 2. You know, just Pokemon Black and White 2 or Black 2.
Favorite movie? Definitely right now, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I've watched that like 5 or 6 times so far. It's a really good movie, and I recommend it if you've never watched it before. And also watch the FNAF movie when it comes out so that it could rival the Barbie movie, because I think it would be funny.
And as for my favorite movie, I would have to go with the best Star Wars movie of all time, Revenge of the Sith. You cannot disagree that had the best lightsaber duel of all time.
Favorite movie, probably gonna have to be Akira, the animated movie, just because I don't have to explain it. It's just goated. It's a really good movie.
My favorite movie has to be, well, I've been watching all of the Star Wars movies, like in order, but it has to be Revenge of the Sith. It doesn't get any better than that.
I gotta say, my favorite movie is it's either Mad Max Fury Road or Sin City. Sin City is trash garbage, but it's my trash garbage, and I love it so much.
As for like my favorite movie series is pretty easily the 1990s live-action Ninja Turtles movies. Like, they're garbage. They are hot garbage, but they're funny.
And my favorite movie is Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Dead, which is the most entertaining movie of all time.
My favorite movie is also Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
I'd have to say my favorite movie, I'm a big Indiana Jones fan. I like Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade. I just really like that movie.
My favorite movie, Oppenheimer was a really good movie. I like the part when he did the thing.
My favorite movie, I would have to say, is probably Soul Surfer, the story of Bethany Hamilton. Not gonna lie, it's kind of like a comfort movie for me. I know it's not a very comfortable topic, but the first time I watched it, I was at a Girl Scouts meeting, and while they were making gingerbread men houses in the back room, I was in the living room watching that movie. So I was kind of the odd one out, so it just, I don't know, has a special place in my heart, and I think the story's inspiring too, so I like that movie.
Yo, what's up? It's Five Nights at Freddy's debate. It's debate night. We're debating.
It's a terrifying experience that I lived through myself. I don't know how I made it out alive, but you know what?
It's fun.
It gets pretty intense, so you just beware back there for some jump scares and fun flares.
Vote for me, or I might do something terrible. Debate.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the debate of the century, or what is so far it. Welcome to Press Play. We are currently debating, in honor of the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which Five Nights at Freddy's game is the best. We have 6 lovely contestants here who are willing to vouch for their game. So, let's just get right into it. We'll start over on this side at the far end. Please introduce yourself and what game you are defending.
Hi, my name is Justin, and I know it's a controversial opinion, but I am going to be defending the third game as the best game. I think that it has the most. I think that it has some of the strongest aesthetics out of any of the games. Like, it's got some of the strongest visual direction. I think although the gameplay isn't the best, story-wise and visually, it is the best. And I think it introduces the best character in the entire series, Springtrap, and uses him really well. So I think that the third game is the best game. I think if he stopped making games after the third one, it would unironically be a better series. And that's why I'm defending the third game as the best game.
All right, well, thank you. Moving on.
I don't know how much time we have, so I thought I was being timed.
I thought it was 30 seconds.
You're good. You're good.
So, hi, my name is Nick McEwen. I actually haven't played many of the games. I've seen a lot of them, but I was a very scared little boy when I was growing up, so I was too afraid of the jump scares. But I watched Security Breach. I watched Markiplier play it, and I'm defending it purely for the bit, because I thought it was actually really interesting from a gameplay standpoint. It was absolutely broken, but I think that was honestly very funny and added a lot of charm to it. And once it was a bit more polished out, I do think it was an interesting game. I am mostly defending it for the bit, but I will genuinely toss in some good points in there.
Thank you. And moving on.
Hey, what's up? I'm Meg. I'm going to be defending the second game. Short and simple, solely because it's the best. Period. Point blank.
I love your confidence. Thank you. Here, we'll move on to you.
Hi, I'm Jamie, and I'm defending Ultimate Custom Night. It's my favorite, and I think it has the most variety in gameplay mechanics.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Hi, I'm Noah. I'm going to be defending Five Nights at Freddy's 1 because I think that it is one of the only games in this series that actually tries to be scary and actually does it well. And also, I'll get to you. And also, I think lore-wise, it's probably the easiest to understand, and I think definitely that's a plus for Five Nights at Freddy's because I was a guy that was big into the lore when it first came out, and Five Nights at Freddy's 1 was really kind of hit that spot for me, you know. And to this day, no Five Nights at Freddy's game has impressed me as much as the first game, so that's why I think it's the best.
All right, and last but not least.
Okay, sorry. My name is Donovan, and I'm going to be defending the fourth game. I think the fourth game is the best. I think it is definitely the scariest on a gameplay standpoint. I think it has like some of the best plot points in the story, and I think it has like very big significance on it, which in the series, and yeah, that's why I think it's the best.
All right, so we have some 6 very strong opinions about this. I saw some looks over here you were getting when everyone was going over on this side. Does anyone have anything to say about their opinions?
It seems like a lot of you guys are defending games that just don't scare me at all. Like, I'm sorry, Security Breach isn't scary. You know,
Exactly.
FNAF
for
2
yourself.
tries, but it's too brightly lit. It just doesn't. It doesn't get me in the same way that the other games, in the same way that the first and third games do.
You're wrong.
You know, like the first game is genuinely scary. It tries to build atmosphere, but I feel like none of the other games actually succeed in that same way. Like, people will talk about the FNAF 4 designs, like, oh, they're so, you know, like, oh, look at how scary they are. They're trying too hard. They look like what a middle schooler thinks the cool Five Nights at Freddy's looks like, you know? It's all spikes and nothing else. But the first 2 games are setting him up as a villain. The first 2 games...
We don't even know about the guy until
because
the
the
third game.
first
We
two
didn't even know
games-
his name
Yeah,
until
we
the
didn't-
books came out.
Until the books
came out.
but-
So
we
there's a plot point right there.
But
outside
the-
information.
I can't read
Why is
Justin.
everything yellow in FNAF 3?
If we take every
Everything's like green and yellow in FNAF 3.
if we take exclusively the story that we had, if we take exclusively the story that we had from FNAF 1 and 2 going into the third game, all we know is that, you know, there was a guy who, you know, gay-mended some kids, stuffed them into suits, and then those suits are haunted and are trying to get you. The third game, you're fighting the guy that did all of that.
He's not that intimidating. Yeah, he's also not that
I would like to agree that they easily use William Afton the best in FNAF 3, and they actually take him seriously, especially with those rare screens where he's like pulling his face out of the thing. But in gameplay, he kind of looks stupid. He's like stuck in a vent. He's like has his arms out, and then his like kill screen. He like just walks up to you.
I will also say, Justin, I will also defend your critique about the story should have ended there. I agree with that. However, I'm just saying, like, I feel like in terms of like the gameplay and stuff, it could have done way more compared to the other games.
I think FNAF 3 has game.
Security breach, best gameplay.
Like
you get a camera.
The other games do have
on 4K.
I will say some of the other games do have better game. Underrated menace in some of the screens in which you can barely see him. He's hiding from you.
Yeah, but I'm gonna turn my brightness up. I'm too afraid.
But if you turn the brightness up, you're just defeating the point. That's the thing.
Who's more scared of who then?
Security breach isn't
He's hiding
scary.
from you.
You say security breach isn't scary. Why did I have to check where the jump scares were going to be when I watched Markiplier play it? Checkmate. I had to know when they were coming because I was scared.
Wait. Let
I was also 20.
So FNAF 2, why do you think it's the best?
Because it is.
You have to elaborate.
You can't be like, I'm not getting this.
In my humble opinion, it's the best because it just looks the prettiest. The characters, they look the best in that game, in my opinion. I like that there are more ways to get jump scared rather than just a door in front of your face or on either side of you. It's all of that. There's a hallway in front of you and there's 2 vents next to you. You can't really do. The way to make the game harder. You know, you can't just breeze through it.
And that's
he
my
shows
biggest
up,
criticism.
he laughs in your face.
That's my biggest criticism with FNAF 2. It tries to be more hard than it tries to be scary.
He shows up, he laughs in your face.
Yeah, as far as
like,
so it is pretty hard.
I mean, he's like, heh, loser, which is not something that we're like not faced with in real life.
It makes you feel
FNAF
helpless
2
at that point.
doesn't give you the room to feel scared. FNAF 2 is so much constant checking cameras, winding the music box, putting down your mask, checking cameras, flashing in the hallway, putting down your mask, everything else.
It makes you anxious.
There's like 50 more.
I'm too overwhelmed by dealing with all 800 characters at once to actually be scared.
Why not
Like, at
just-
least Ultimate Custom Night is a test of reflexes and skill. FNAF 2 is just a test of getting a pattern down.
Skill issue.
Skill issue. I'm about to say that's all the game. That's all the games.
Yeah,
though.
okay,
I'm about to say
so-
that's all the games.
Can
They're
you
talking
really
about
say?
the
Can you
whole
really
games.
talk, Justin, with your
There's
one
one problem
animatronic
with
that actually
FNAF
kills
2, and it's like there's like only a few way to deal with the animatronics. You either put your mask on in the vent, you flash them with the flashlight, and that's pretty much it. You need to deal with some other ones in different ways, like the music box, but it's pretty easy to just get rid of everyone.
With security breach, you can like dunk on them.
If FNAF 3 isn't the best game, then why do they keep bringing back the one character for every following
It's
game?
marketable.
Because a bunch of 12-year-olds are like, oh my god, it's him.
Noah and I talk about our games.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna say because we have not even gotten to our points yet. Let's say you can go first.
I agree that I think FNAF 1 is the best one, and I agree that some of their points, like some of the games are scary, they have scary elements, but FNAF 1 is the only one that actually tried to be a scary game and actually like did it right. I think. I'll get to you, okay?
I didn't even say anything.
I senses the tension.
And also, it's probably just like, like there's only 4 animatronics. Like, come on. Then you go to FNAF 2. What? It's got like 50 more.
I think there's 12.
What's up with that?
I think there actually is 12.
Exactly.
They're just like it. Like it's still hard, but like it's reasonable. I've been there since the beginning. All right. And if to this day I still find FNAF 1 to be the best one in the series, that says more about the other games than I think it does than FNAF 1 as a whole. Then I remember back then, the biggest mystery was like, how did these kids get like stuffed in those suits, right? Who was the guy to put them in those suits? Because I can't say what he actually did to them, right? And also, the bite of 87,
You got me there. You brought the bite of 87.
I did want to compliment. It has the best atmosphere, mystery, and cleanest story.
With FNAF 4, like I agree with you that FNAF 1, I think it's like the one game that tries to be like scary with it. I think FNAF 4 is an evolution of FNAF 1, like on the horror aspect of it, with the whole entire thing. And I know like your critique with all the game, like with the 4th game was like, oh, it's like what a middle schooler sees, and that's the point. You're playing as a kid. You're playing as a kid through the whole entire thing, and through the perspective of a kid, when you're seeing these animatronic, it's not going to be the Sunshine Gang that you see.
You misunderstand my point. It's not. It's what a middle schooler thinks is scary. It's what a middle schooler thinks is cool. Yeah. It's that it isn't scary because it's trying to.
They aren't trying to be cool. They're trying to be. He wasn't trying to make them cool.
He has a good point.
He's trying to make it scary.
As someone who is not good with horror, 4 is what they look like in 4 is what they look
no.
like.
It's not even the looks that are trying. I'm trying to prove the point that's scary. It's the type of gameplay that they're trying to make you do, because there's always an element of sound that's going through all of this. Like with FNAF 3, like obviously you hear Springtrap in different locations. You know where he is. In FNAF 1, you can kind of tell where people are going through and sits in ruin. It's always been a thing. And 4, they actually make it into a big mechanic into thing where you actually use sound to figure out if they're actually there or not by trying to figure out if they're breathing. And you can try to, like, you can either shut the door or you can like do the lights on it. And I think that adds to the whole entire scary point of it, because you feel tense. You feel like with 3, you feel like you feel more stressed out because there's like all these different alarms going off with it. With 2, you feel overwhelmed. With 1, you feel like uneasy. With 4, I think you feel both uneasy and scared at the same time, because you know that there's so many other things, and the fact that you have to hear them instead of like there's no visual cues with it, you have to actually listen out for them, adds to the whole entire tension with it. On the fact that like compared to the other game, because we talked about also aesthetics with it, it's pitch black most of the time in the fourth game. So, and you can't even shine the light in there, so you're pretty much putting your ear to a pitch black hallway to hear these monstrosities on there. And I think that adds to the dread and the helplessness that you have in the game. So I think that adds to the ambiness, like through the whole entire thing. And that's really it. That's all I gotta say. That wasn't short.
No,
but
was
that's
good.
all I
You
gotta
made
say.
your point. You made your point.
I'll quickly talk about Ultimate Custom Night.
Absolutely.
I think it's the most fun. It has the most variety. Most of the animatronics, I said 2, but it also applies to 1 and 4, and then 3 only has Springtrap.
You know.
Can't end your game.
Shut up. You got to use all 9 like number keys. There's just so much to do in UCN, and there's so much to customize in it. And I think it has just the most potential and replayability out of the series. It's also great to see basically every animatronic return. If you have a favorite character, most likely they're probably in UCN.
It's the Smash Ultimate of
everyone
is everyone is here.
Yeah, so that's why I think UCN is the best. It's fun, and I like replaying it.
We all had some great points here today. We'll quickly go through 5 seconds, ending statements. We'll start over here and we'll go around.
FNAF 1 is the only other game that seems to avoid having weirdly like plastic, artificial, not very realistic looking animatronics. I think FNAF 1 and FNAF 3 are the only games that properly build scary atmosphere, and I think that FNAF 3 has the most interesting character and raps.
Okay, Security Breach has really interesting environments, a really interesting story, and they made Roxanne Wolf hot. I won't be taking further questions.
All right, moving on.
Okay, listen. FNAF 2 is the most memeable. The amount of FNAF 2 Foxy jump scares that have shown up on my For You page, I mean, that speaks for itself. So vote me because my game's the best.
Thank you very
I like
much.
to spend my time just dunking on Sister Location. It has the worst designs and it is the least fun. And also, I didn't play the custom night, but I heard it's really bad. So
I can agree.
that's
with
why
you.
no one chose Sister Location.
Night 4, that's all I gotta say about
Yeah,
Sister Location. Night
we all-
4, that's
we can,
all I
we
gotta
can
say.
all agree that Sister Location
if we
is the
can't
worst.
agree on the best game, we can all agree that Sister Location is the worst.
But FNAF 1 is the best one because it's got the best atmosphere, it's got the best like story because there's like not that much to it. It's got mystery to it. That's why how you make a story scary. You add the mystery to it. You let the audience fill in the blanks, right? And I was there from the beginning, okay? I've been through war. I think that I have a pretty good like authority to say that. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying that like the question, if you ask me, FNAF 1 is the best one. I will say there are other good Five Nights at Freddy's games.
Would you potentially say that you were the first? You have seen everything?
Yes. Yes,
That would have been a good
yes, I
point
do.
to mention in the arguments.
Sorry, no, I'm just quoting Ultimate Custom Night.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I'm just
never
quoting
mind
Ultimate
then.
Custom Night where the
Excuse me.
Chica says that.
FNAF 4 is definitely the best. I think it is the best evolution of the gameplay that I think 1 really set up, and I think it pretty much ties together. Like if we were just talking about the first 4 game, I think it ties together like the kind of the loopholes in the story like that were like kind of getting added into it, and I think it had some of the like best type of gameplay. I think it had the best atmosphere. I think it had the best type of like atmosphere, and also like just sets of dread that the game's trying to uphold, which is being scary and also like making you feel helpless, and that's it.
All right, thank you all very much. All made some very nice points, but it's all up to you and the audience what you think the best Five Nights at Freddy's game is. Do you think it's Sister Location, or do you think it's one of the ones that our lovely contestants are voting for?
It's not Sister Location.
It's not 3 either.
Also, there were 2 bites. That makes the story even more confusing. Just gonna say right
Thank you for
FNAF 1
viewing.
only had 1 bite. Just saying.
That's true. No, that's
Thanks for
true.
tuning in, and this is Press Play. Dang, things got pretty heated, didn't they?
They did get pretty heated.
I
There
know,
was-
I was there.
I thought there was going to be a fight breaking out.
I did too, honestly. I thought we were going to bring out the shovel. You guys don't know about that. Don't ask about the shovel.
Don't ask about the shovel. You don't need to know.
Shovel. Or the wrench. Don't ask about that either. These are inside jokes that you don't get privy to.
But thank you for coming into this episode of Press Play. We're so happy to have you.
We
I'm
are.
Nick.
I am Sam.
Thanks for watching.